Well, the last time our next guest was here, we talked about how to keep your New Year's resolutions for 2013 to improve your personal finances. Well, that was long-range planning. Now, financial advisor Rob Wilson is back with 5 things we can do right now to improve our bank account. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's hard to make those long-term resolutions. You got to start today, right?
It is. So last time I was here, I kind of wanted to make sure that folks got their mind right. Because if you're going to make serious changes in your life, you have to have the correct mindset. But now it's time to act. You've got to put a lot of these things actually in place in your life. And so I thought I'd give us, very specific tips that people could put in place right now. As soon as the show's over, they can get started right away improving their financial picture for 2013.
I love this because it's very specific. If you want to accomplish those goals that we talked about last time, you got to actually do something specific starting with these things.
That's right.
Okay, today, Monday, find out where your money went.
Well, a lot of people look at their financial situation at the end of the year and they say, well, I didn't save as much as I wanted to, or I didn't put enough away for retirement, but they have absolutely zero idea where they spent their money. So the first part of any good financial plan is understanding your current situation, and a big part of that is your spending habits. So if you want to know where your money went, you have to track it. Now, it's really a pain to save receipts and put everything in a spreadsheet, but there's a great web service out there. The website the address is mint.com.
Okay.
And what you can do is you can go on there. Yep, mint.com.
Okay.
You go there, you link up all of your bank accounts. It's very secure. You use your username and password, and it will actually categorize all of your spending and track this and actually create a budget for you automatically. So they've taken all of the headache away from it. It'll do this automatically. You'll know where your money went because you can't improve what you don't measure. So take a look at where you spent your money and you can do a little bit better this year.
Does it take things like debit spending or, I don't know,
anything, your
cards?
credit cards, your debit cards? It'll categorize things into, where you spend at groceries, how much you spent eating out at different restaurants or clothing. It's very smart. And if it sort of miscategorizes something from time to time, you can go in there and manually edit it and create your own categories as well. Wow.
Well, that really is, I think, going to be a reality check for a lot of people, I imagine.
It really is. If you ask folks how much they spent, going out and buying shoes last year, they'd probably have a hard time telling you. So if you take a look at the hard facts, you can do a lot better.
Yeah, cool. Okay, I love that. Tuesday, that's tomorrow, manage your credit.
Well, one of the areas where we do tend to waste a lot of our money is on credit card interest. If you're like the average American family, you've got about $7,000 in credit card debt. And if you want to add to that your auto loan, your mortgage, and your student debt, Americans owe over $11 trillion. And so there is a ton of interest being charged on that, and there's really no value that you receive from paying interest on your credit card. So the first thing you can do is try to reduce the amount that you're paying in interest. So if you have a good credit score, you'll be able to reduce those rates. Good way to check that score is a website called creditkarma.com. You can get your score completely and totally free. There's also a simulator on there that you can put in different things to say, well, if I apply for another credit card, how would that affect my score? Or if I pay down some balances, what will my score be then? So that simulator is very powerful, and it'll also suggest to you maybe different credit cards that you can sign up for. Maybe they have a 0% interest for 6 months. That'll help you save money. So it's a very useful tool in trying to manage your credit. Now, obviously, the best way to save on your interest is going to be to pay those credit cards off. But in order to get a quick win, check out and see where your score is and different things that you can do to try to improve it right away.
Okay, fantastic. Wednesday, schedule a checkup, meaning at the doctor.
That's right. And so if, healthcare costs, high healthcare costs can absolutely wreck your financial plan. And if you need an example of that, look no further than the current flu epidemic that we're going through right now. I mean, if you look at it from a business perspective, having all of these employees off of work is going to cost these businesses millions of dollars. But if you're one of those employees, especially if you don't get sick time and you don't get paid when you're not at work, that's going to make it very difficult for you to earn money. So you can't make money and have a good financial plan if you can't get up and go to work. So if you go and you get frequent checkups, it's going to help you avoid situations like undetected illnesses that may creep up on you, or certain chronic conditions. Now, the doctor may tell you, listen, I know you like to listen to Rob Wilson all the time, but sometimes you have to just get up off the couch and go and exercise. So if you get checkups, you'll get the advice and you won't have these things creep up on you that can wreck your financial plan.
Great advice. You don't always think about health and finances, but they really do go together. Okay, Thursday, pay yourself first?
Yeah, this is one thing that I'm surprised that most people don't do. And we're all responsible, and we want to make sure our obligations are taken care of. So you've got to pay your mortgage, you got to keep your lights on and all that kind of stuff. But we don't pay ourselves first. What I want people to do is right now go home and write yourself a check or set up an automatic transfer for $50. That's all I want you to do. But what that is going to do is you're going to feel a little bit good, because your goals will now be becoming a priority. Okay? So if you said you wanted to save money or you wanted to start a business, you're now putting money towards that. Just start with $50 or whatever amount that you can afford. The habit is more important than the dollar amount. And then you'll realize maybe you didn't really miss that $50, and you can continue doing that on a weekly or monthly basis. And before you know it, you'll have a lot saved up.
So that's for saving specifically?
It's really for what you're trying to accomplish in life. So it's not necessarily you're trying to save money, but what are the things that you want to do, and being able to put aside money for that is going to help you do that.
So if you have a house project or whatever it may be, maybe your kids' schools, whatever, something important to you.
Absolutely. Maybe you just want to go on vacation, but set aside and make the things that you want to do a priority.
Nice, I like that. Okay, and then Friday, our last day of the week, find 3 potential income sources.
Well, you know what, the doctor tells you are what you eat. And as a financial advisor, I tell people that they are what they read. And so I think if you want to be successful, you've got to read what successful people read. So if you're in a business and you're trying to bring in new clients, or you're an executive and you're trying to move up the corporate ladder, you want to read publications like the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette or the Pittsburgh Business Times, because those publications are almost like your own contracted out sales force. They do features and stories on new companies, on businesses, on executives. You can find out where people are hiring, where they need help, or where you can bring in new clients. So you got to read these things with an eye towards who are 3 people that I can contact next week to maybe get a new job, or maybe to bring in some new clients and make more money.
And even then, if you're not looking for a job, you always want to keep that up, because you never know when things might change.
Yeah, you read these things, you keep your ear to the street, you'll be much better off.
Great advice, Rob. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rob Wilson, financial advisor with Blazer Capital Management, here with Money Mondays every other week.